All right, Thomas, how's it settling in so far? I've seen some days with you outdoors, but haven't seen you on the Supercross track yet.
Yeah, the first week I got back, I just spent a couple days on the outdoor track, getting used to the bike, and you know, in Europe we actually run a little bit different chassis. We can, with the production rule not in place in Europe, we can change a few things with the chassis, and over here we're required to run the standard frame. So just getting used to that a little bit before I jumped onto the Supercross track, and then yeah, a couple weeks ago got my first week in Supercross and went pretty smooth actually. Yeah, haven't had any real big issues, just slowly getting into it, and you know, try to start building up my speed closer to A1. But for now, just getting time in on the Supercross track, trying to get as many laps in as possible and get comfortable, because at the beginning riding Supercross, you know, it's easy to get like a death grip on the bars through the whoops and just not really breathing around the whole track. So just trying to get comfortable.
What all did you do to get fit on the bike or get set up on there? You know, like first day I saw you guys changing bar risers and little things like that.
Yeah, really just, you know, even though the chassis are slightly different, the overall bikes, yeah, it's the same bike, still a Husky, and you know, I feel at home on it. So just trying a few different things to maybe work out what I was feeling with the chassis, and also getting used to running tubes instead of moose in the tires. That's one thing I'm kind of having to get used to, you know. There's a lot of days where I want to go back to my moose, but you know, for Supercross, I think the tubes are the way to go. So yeah, just small things like that.
How is it different feel-wise? Is it a little more lively on the tire?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with the tube, it feels a bit harder. Maybe you get a bit more bounce, you know, in the whoops and Supercross, and you know, I would like to try a moose here pretty soon just to see what it's like on the Supercross track, but we haven't got a chance to do that yet. So yeah, we'll see.
Do you have a preference, east or west? You know, obviously originally East Coast guy,
Yeah.
but could you use the extra time too?
I'm good either way, actually. You know, if I can do West Coast, probably give me a little bit more time to get ready for outdoors. But you know, obviously I haven't had much time on a Supercross track, so East would be good for me as well. And then being from Alabama, a lot of my friends and family can make it out to the races there in Atlanta and stuff. So yeah, it doesn't matter to me. Still 9 rounds either way.
It was funny in the early talk there. You were talking about, you know, you and the crew can understand each other a lot better. You know, I'm sure there was culture shock going to Europe. Is there also a little culture shock coming home, or not?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the guys on the team in Europe were awesome. You know, it's really cool to be so far from home and in all these different countries, and everybody speaks pretty good English. So I was really fortunate to have that, because you know, my Dutch and German's not so good. So I was lucky to have that. But yeah, you know, I was over there for 5 years, and the last couple of years especially, it felt like a second home to me there in Belgium. So definitely takes some getting used to being back home. Just living with my parents right now, so that's a bit of a change for me. Been living by myself for the 5 years, so but it's a good change. For sure it'll take a little bit of time to get used to, but I'm loving it. I like being around all these guys. You know, it just feels good to be back in America.
Was that a good way for you to go, is to go over to Europe and mature and learn over there?
For sure. Like I'd do it all over again the same way. You know, my first year where I was going to go pro in the U.S. with Mitch Payton, you know, I feel like maybe it would have worked out that way as well, but I'm definitely a lot more mature and got so much more experience now coming into Supercross, just race experience, and I'm just a lot more confident coming into it. Whereas if I would have gone straight into Supercross when I was 17 there, you know, I probably would have struggled, and who knows if I would have been able to get another ride after those first couple of years. So I think it definitely prolonged my career a little bit, and as well as just gave me a really cool life experience. You know, not many kids get the opportunity to travel all over the world and see all those crazy places we go to. I really enjoyed every bit of it. You know, I mean, obviously I wouldn't want to stay over there the rest of my life, but you know, it was just the experience of a lifetime, and I was loving it.
You ever think you'd go back?
Yeah, you know, I could definitely see myself going back in the future. the last couple years, you know, it was always in the back of my mind, like, I want to go home at some point. So when, you know, when Bobby started hitting me up, I was, you know, this is the team that I wanted to come back on. If I had to choose anybody else, this would be where I'd want to be. So I just get along really well with everyone on the team, and it seems like a real family atmosphere. So yeah, really fortunate to have these guys behind me.
Well, good luck this season.
Yep, thanks.